Hey there, folks, and welcome to another edition of Tuesday Tips with Tim. I'm Tim King with Offix Lynchburg, and today we're going to be talking about 5 common print issues that customers run into that can be resolved or at least diagnosed before your technician even gets out there. These are common headaches that customers run into that they place a service call, wait for the technician to come out, and it turns out it's something very simple. So let's jump into these 5 common issues. Let's see if we can get them resolved for you. The first issue, and probably the most common, are paper jams. Now, paper jams can occur for a couple different reasons. The first and most common is not changing the paper tray settings when putting in new paper or getting the paper size wrong. So if we look here at our Canon device, we've got 2 paper trays at the bottom as well as a multi-purpose or bypass tray here at the side. A lot of times when customers run into paper jams, they're printing on thicker and heavier cardstock or heavier paper through the bypass or even through the drawer, but they're not changing the paper tray settings. Here's why that causes an issue. If you're printing on thicker cardstock or thicker paper, but not telling the machine it's thicker paper, it thinks, or its sensors are reading that thicker paper as 2 sheets jammed together, and it's going to immediately throw errors. If this is the case, make sure you're clearing your jam, first and foremost, through your duplexing area. We're going to clear those paper jams out of there. If you've got a finisher on your device, you may have some paper that is jammed up through the attachment kit, which goes over here. We're going to clear our jams, then we're going to go to our paper tray settings and make sure we're matching the thickness of the paper with the setting for that tray. We'll show you how to do that in just a moment. Let's check our paper tray settings on our Canon first. Simply go to Settings, Registration, Preferences, Paper Settings. And then Paper Settings again. Now, we only have paper in 2 trays, but if we wanted to set settings for our top device, we can see it's currently set to letter and plain. So let's go ahead and set. And from here, it's going to tell us our thickness and how high it can go up to. For detailed settings, which is what I recommend, it'll give you your GSM settings, or grams per square meter. This is the weight of the paper that you want to look for on your cardstock or on your pack of paper. So if we were doing something a little heavier, we can scroll down and choose either recycled, pre-punched, thinner paper, transparency. Now, tray 1 will not do heavy stock. I believe it does up to 207, there we go, 279 GSM. So let's just say it's a thicker cardstock where you hit heavy 3, and then OK. So as long as our paper matches that range, then we shouldn't run into any issues. You also want to make sure that your print driver matches that also. And then OK. And we're to close. Next, we'll look at our Kyocera device, and they put paper tray settings right there on the home screen. You'll see it at the top right there. and then we can choose our tray. Now on the Kyocera, the bypass is called the MP tray or multi-purpose tray. As you can see here, it's already set to cardstock, but it's going to give you the option for size and media type. So let's go to type, and from here we can say thick, coated. We even put in some custom types, but it gives you a wide range of things. So again, we're going to choose cardstock in this scenario and close. And then we're good to print. Again, you always want to make sure your print driver is matching the settings that you're inputting into the device. Lastly, we're going to look at paper tray settings on our HP device. Simply scroll over till you see trays. We're going to select what tray we're going to change the settings for. As you see on the HP, they have their trays numbered a little different. The multi-purpose or bypass tray is tray 1, so that's the one we're going to change. We're going to allow any size, and then we're going to tell it specifically what type of paper we're putting in. Obviously it has pre-loaded HP presets. We're going to keep scrolling till we see our thicker paper. So you see mid-weight, heavy, cardstock. So again, we're going to match that GSM range to the cardstock range there. And if that matches, we're going to say OK and done. And then we're going to ensure that our print driver matches that setting, and we're good to print. If you've double checked your paper tray settings and the paper you have in the device matches the paper settings and you're still running into jamming issues, this could be due to bad feed rollers or other defective parts. Make sure you place a service call with your provider, and a certified technician will come out and help address that issue. The next issue I want to address along the same lines is paper errors, typically when printing. Now this is almost always a print driver issue. Your print driver tells your multifunctional device what that print job is from your computer onto here and make sure everything matches. If something doesn't match, again, going back to paper tray settings most commonly, or other missed settings, it's going to cause an error. The computer, it may be looking for plain paper, whereas your device has switched that thicker paper, and you've told it the thicker paper, the settings aren't matching. So it's always important, first and foremost, to double check both the settings on your device as well as the print settings on your computer. Now, if you're having this issue regularly, it could be that you're using a basic Microsoft print driver rather than the manufacturer's recommended print driver. The Microsoft print drivers are subject to updates every time Windows does an update. A common issue recently is when the Microsoft Windows updated, the print driver defaulted itself to bond paper. So users, through no fault of their own, have gone to print jobs on regular paper, but are getting mismatch or paper errors where they have to select a specific tray. This is due to the Microsoft update changing the default from bond to from regular paper to bond paper. So it's looking for one kind of paper, whereas the device has a different setting. The easiest fix for this is to install the manufacturer's recommended print driver. There's another great video, we'll link in the comments, that we did on how to install the proper print drivers. If you have any questions about that, reach out to your local Offix representative. Issue number 3 is streaking lines or spots on your paper. Now, this may be caused by a few different components or issues. The most common, however, is dirt or foreign objects on your glass, on your copy glass. Your device should hopefully come with a cleaning cloth, so always start by cleaning the thin strip of glass right here, and then depending on what type of document feeder you have, you might want to open it also and clean the glass in here if you have a dual scanner. Now, the best way to diagnose if this is caused by foreign objects on your glass is when the streaking is occurring. If you're making a scan or a copy and you're seeing streaking, but there's no streaking on a print job, then that means it's a foreign object or dirt on your glass. If you're seeing streaking and spots on a print and copy job, but not on scanning, then that's likely due to an internal component. Either a drum has gone bad, or there's another defective part on the inside causing toner to drip out or miss its transfer. If this is the case, then place a service call with your local provider and a certified technician will be out to address the issue. The fourth issue that people are often reaching out about or Googling is wrinkled paper. Now, again, much like paper errors, this could be, or paper jams, it could be a paper tray setting that is missed. Either you've put in regular paper or you put in thicker paper or an envelope and fail to tell the device what kind of paper you're putting in. That's an easy check to see. If you're still seeing wrinkled paper through there, then again, it could be an issue with the feed rollers or the paper path. It could also be an issue with the paper itself. If you're using cheaper paper or custom-made envelopes, and they're not necessarily rated for a multifunction printer like this, you may run into jamming or paper feed issues. That's wrinkling the device. Always check your paper first and foremost, and your paper tray settings next. If you're still running into those issues, as always, call your local provider and a certified technician will be out to check it out for you. The fifth and final issue that we're going to address today is a two-part issue: printer offline as well as scanning errors and issues. Now, the reason I bundle these together is it's almost always linked to the same issues. For printer offline, it's typically going to be either an update to your computer where your computer is no longer recognizing the device, or if you've recently switched internet providers, your internet is going to have a different IP scheme typically than what your previous internet had. So your old device is on the old IP scheme, where your new network, and your computer may find it automatically when it connects, is on a new IP scheme. This is a simple fix by getting with your IT team or your IT provider and having them double check your IP settings and your network settings. It may be simple as just reconnecting this device to the new network and then finding a new IP address for it. This also, 9 times out of 10, is going to be the issue with scanning issues. New provider, new internet, your current device is not on your new network. The other issue that may cause this, especially on the scanning side, is an update with your email provider if you're scanning to email. Providers like Google and Microsoft do not recognize a copier MFP as a Windows recognized device. It's a third-party device. So they put protections in place to keep your email safe from third-party options. This can be addressed with your IT team by double-checking your email settings and making sure that two-factor authentication is enabled and that you're giving special permissions to your multifunctional device. First and foremost, with your IT team, if you need our assistance also, we're always happy to help address this concern. So if you're still having issues with either printer offline or scanning, and your IT team has double-checked your network and there's been no other changes, then it could be an issue with the network card in the back where the whole device is not able to connect with the internet. If that's the case, make sure you place a service call with your um, local provider, and a certified technician will be out there to address your concern. I hope this was helpful today. Hope this helps address some common issues that users face out there. Maybe address those concerns yourself before you have to place a service call if you're in a rush. We're always happy to come out and fix these issues alongside you. Make sure you like and follow our socials. Tune in next week, and as always, all questions send to marketing@offix.com. That's marketing@offix.com, and have a great week, folks.